Hi everyone and welcome to the 2014 CAC Women's Soccer Preseason Webcast. I'm Tim Maurer. This webcast will feature each of the 10 conference coaches discussing their prospects for the upcoming year, followed by the unveiling of the 2014 preseason poll. The York College Spartans will look for a repeat CAC Women's Soccer crown this fall after edging Christopher Newport in penalty kicks in last year's championship game. York and Christopher Newport both earned bids into the NCAA tournament last year, with the Spartans nabbing a first-round victory before falling in double overtime in round 2. Now let's take a look at each team entering the 2014 campaign.
Well, for this upcoming year, and our expectations are to, quite frankly, do many of the things that we tried to do last year and were successful with. We'd like to, of course, get back to the playoff championship and get back to the national tournament. We know that there's several teams, of course, in the CAC that are looking to do the same thing. So a good start to the year is going to be critical for us in non-conference, getting us into the conference play. Some of the key losses for us, of course, we lost Emma O'Reilly and Bupe Okewu, whose point totals in terms of goals and assists were very evident. Bupe had a great October. Emma had an outstanding September. So a big key for us early is going to be finding probably some returners or some young players that can fill those voids. And then beyond that, the other 4 seniors that we lost were real critical to our team chemistry and to filling in some key positions through the midfield and through the back line too. Key returners for us, I mean, we're really excited about the form of Joy Pirto now. She's an all-region player last year. She's come in and she's looked really sharp so far. Sam Rabanek, who was the Rookie Player of the Year in the CAC last year, has also had a really good start to a season. We're hoping for, of course, some of the returners that weren't in the accolades last year to kind of move themselves up into those ranks and try to find some goals from some of our attacking players and then fill in where we've had some good experience through the back line too. Yeah, some of the newcomers, I mean, we're really excited about the whole group. We will bring in 13 players that are freshmen and one transfer student. So we've got, of course, a big turnaround that way. We're excited about the energy level. We're excited about their eagerness to learn and how they've incorporated into our system. Also how the returners have welcomed them. So we're looking for some of them to really take some pretty important key roles this year and see who can score some goals and see who others can fit into other roles that are going to be necessary for us. Yeah, we're excited about our conference and non-conference schedule. We feel like we've beefed up our non-conference to a certain extent. We have a national caliber Emory right out of the gates, which will be a really good test for us. We also have some regionally ranked teams in Lynchburg and some others that will really test the beginning 6 or 7 games for us before we start conference play. Conference play is also really a time when we really need to be sharp because we know that everyone's looking for us, and we of course did well last year. So it's a question of we're not going to sneak up on anybody, and people are going to be maybe even more prepared for us this year, which we like and anticipate, and we like that challenge.
Well, every year we maintain a simple goal to field a competitive team and be prepared for every match we play. So I view my primary goal as a coach is to prepare the team, is to evaluate the team properly, train the team, and be competitive, be a tough out for everyone on our schedule. Obviously, every particular year is a little different in terms of how you stack up against the competition, but we maintain a regular goal to compete for a conference championship and earn postseason opportunities, and we've had pretty good success here of doing that. I think this year is no different. We were, very competitive in the conference last year. I think we will be again this year, and it should be an exciting season. In terms of key losses, obviously Adria Graham is huge. An All-American, a center forward, accounted for the lion's share of our goal scoring over the last several seasons. An important player, but certainly we have players who are interested in filling that role, and we've got some great opportunities for young players to step in and help score goals for us. Chelsea Paskowski was a center mid, became a center back last year on sort of emergency duty as a senior, and is also a very important loss. But we have a pretty good depth within the squad, and I'm sure other players are looking forward to stepping in. Well, we have our entire midfield back. We have a fantastic playmaking center mid. Stephanie Faison-Baker in her senior season will be very good. Very good pace up front in terms of wide positions, whether they're mids or forwards. I think Erin Worthman is going to have a kind of a breakout type year. She played with the Washington Spirit Youth program in the summertime. And we have some very important, key defenders returning as well, but I think we're rock solid in goal with a senior goalkeeper, and Katie Smith is poised to have a fantastic senior year, very durable, very reliable goalkeeper. So at goalkeeper and in midfield, I think is where we have the bulk of our quality among the returning group, and we have some pretty good pace out wide as well. Well, it's Division III, so of course you don't know until they show up, but we have a very good recruiting class and a little bit of everything, and it's a pretty large recruiting class. We have a bright young keeper coming, obviously as a freshman, in Emily Chapman. We have a very good wide player, wide mid, wide back, and AJ Malinak was the Carroll County Player of the Year. There's other players in there at forward positions, at defensive positions that I'm sure will figure in the lineup in some way, perhaps even earn starting jobs. I think everybody would like to have incoming freshmen who are good enough to compete in the 11, and we'll see if that happens this year or perhaps down the road. Well, in our scheduling, we're in a unique situation geographically to be able to play a variety of conferences, in terms of our location. So we seek out very good teams, average to above average teams in all the nearby conferences. So we're playing, W&J and St. Vincent in the President's Conference. We have a great relationship with Carnegie Mellon in the UAA out of Pittsburgh, of course. We play Centennial Conference teams in Gettysburg and McDaniel. So we have an opportunity in the non-conference schedule to really test ourselves, throughout the region and even in some of the other NCAA regions. So the non-conference schedule is fun, and it's nice to sort of see how we compare to a lot of other conferences. Clearly within the conference, all bets are off in terms of who I think is going to be the front runner, where there is no sort of nationally ranked team that everybody's gunning for. So among the top 5-6 teams, I think it should be a lot of fun.
I would like to get us obviously as many wins as possible. Really improve from last year, being 10-10, being 500. We want to move up, probably be in the top 3, top 2, especially in the conference, going from in the regular season play, going a little bit deeper in postseason play from the semifinals the last 3 or 4 years, get into the finals, make a real strong push. I'd say those are probably our pretty big goals for this year. Big losses for us: losing Aaron Reynolds, Christina Rader, the Raider train, and our captain, Exie Herrera, can be real big losses. Can't really replace them in terms of personality, speed of play, just their mental toughness, and just being good kids can be a real big loss for us. There's actually some newcomers that are some key returners for us. There's some players that saw just kind of a bit role the past couple of years, really going to step up already in preseason. Jenna Abraham, Jess Bednarsik, in Charlotte, in goal we've got Charlotte Owens coming back. It's going to be pretty big for us, but I'd say there's another probably 5 or 6 that are really going to step in preseason so far. They've been playing really well. Newcomers: Taylor Decker, Anna Manser. Kind of a standout already has been Maggie Gallagher. Kind of come out of the woodwork for us. I can see their faces, still getting to know them a little bit better, but I'd say right now those are the ones that really stand out. I think we've got a real interesting schedule this year. We start off with 5 games in a row at home. We've got our opening weekend against Shenandoah and Ferrum. Then we've got our classic weekend with Rowan and Coast Guard and Shenandoah coming as well to our tournament. Actually, that's 4 games in a row. Then we go to Messiah, which we're real excited about. Opportunity last year, we lost 2-1. thought we had a real good opportunity to get a good result against them, and just things didn't quite bounce our way. But then we're away. We're away pretty much the rest of September. We think we have a midweek game against Randolph-Macon out of conference, go down to Meredith, another strong opponent, go up to Hood, which is a team that's getting better and better. In conference, most of our stronger teams are going to be away this year, so we've got a real tough away schedule, which we're looking forward to. Always looking to step up to the challenge, but we're looking forward to October, where we're going to get some games at home on the weekend for parents. Homecoming weekend we have Penn State Harrisburg, and we finish off with Wesley. I think it's a real balanced in conference, out of conference schedule. I just think the challenge is going to be shifting gears from being home a lot to being away a lot, being back home again. So that's as a coaching staff, that's our job, to mentally prepare the girls for being home and away. Across the board, I think women's soccer in the CAC is, I think, probably one of the most difficult conferences in the country, top to bottom. You've got your perennial powers that are always up there, and we definitely want to be one of those powers. We have been in the past, and we're always bouncing in and out of those top 3 or 4, especially in postseason play. But you've got some of the newcomers in the conference, Penn State Harrisburg, Wesley, who's been around 5 or 6 years now, I believe. Marymount, who's been here a long time. But those are teams that, they're nipping at everybody's heels. And to be very honest, if you're not looking over your shoulder, they're going to catch you. They're going to be there and really upset the balance. And I think this year they're going to scare some teams. To be very honest, as a coach, you never underestimate your opponents, and you can definitely make sure that we're going to be watching for those guys. It has been since 2004. There's been a repeat in the CAC, and that was Mary Washington. We can't do a repeat until we get one. But I think this year, there's going to be the CNUs, Salisbury's, Frostburg, St. Mary's, us, York. I think are all going to be right up there. And if anybody really does overlook Wesley or Marymount or Penn State Harrisburg or Southern Virginia, they're going to be really silly to do that.
I think as coaches, our expectations for our kids is that they make a commitment over the summer to come in prepared for the season. And when to do those kind of things, and we can set our goals as a team. I think this year, like the last several seasons, our goals are to have a successful season in terms of improving our record, more wins. And our big team goal the last several seasons has been to make the CAC tournament. Losing our seniors last year, specifically our captains, is always difficult because the team has to kind of rally around a new group of kids. Eva De Leon and Jillian Goldstein both provided a great amount of leadership and inspiration for the kids, so we'll miss them a lot. All of our returners are key in our success and our development as we go along every year. I think our returners provide experience that our incoming players don't have, and hopefully renewed passion, from goals we hadn't reached the previous year. I'm hoping to be surprised. We have several kids coming in with a lot of experience in various positions, and we're going to leave it up to them to surprise all of us with what they bring to the team. Our conference is really strong. As a coach, I prefer to play teams that have more experience or are better than us, because I think in the long run, Marymount benefits from it. So our games out of conference prepare us for our tougher games in conference.
goals and expectations this season are definitely to hopefully make the playoffs. I think that's a solid goal for us. From there, we're excited to see what we can do past that. But we're coming into the season with the expectation that we will fight hard in every game and hopefully find ourselves in the playoff race as the end of the season reaches, and even a seat at the table when it comes down to it. And from there, I think anything can happen once you get into that mix. Our key losses from last year, two important positions. Our center back, Kara Hoy, senior, 4-year player for us, captain of the team, just a quality player, quality girl all around, so she'll definitely be hard to replace. Faye Ansary, one of our goal scorers, also won't be playing with us this year. Put a lot of the balls in the back of the net, so definitely those are probably our two biggest losses that we won't have this year on the squad. Some of our key returners coming back this year, mostly our upper class players. We have a solid junior and senior class that we're very excited about. But we really try not to name too many names as we really try to build a team atmosphere here. And everyone is just so important, and we've got leadership from sophomores through juniors and seniors that are bringing a lot to the table as well as their play, and just expecting to put a team effort in our category of our returning players. This year's key newcomers, we have a real solid class coming in. We brought in 9 freshmen, have 2 junior transfers, so we're real excited about our numbers there. A lot of quality players, players from good clubs, good teams, just know how to win, and it's just going to be at a different level than we've had in the past. So we're really excited. This feels like this is the year that we turn the program around, and the class we brought in are going to be a huge part of that. Our thoughts on schedule this year, non-conference, we definitely tried to prepare with some tough teams, knowing that CAC play is obviously top level in the country, Division III. So, we've got some E-Towns on there, a few of the teams that we've had in the years past. E-Town was one of the ads we were excited about, local. Penn College, Washington College, Susquehanna, teams like that. So we're looking forward to having a nice build up to CAC play, hoping to do well in the non-conference, hopefully build some wins and some momentum. And then obviously we all know the CAC, it's just exciting to be in. Every game feels like a conference championship type atmosphere, and looking forward to hopefully competing every single match this season when it comes to that. The style of play we try to keep for Penn State Harrisburg and our soccer team, just a solid possession game for the first 2/3 of the field. Love to get it in the mix after that and be real creative. But in general, we believe, or I believe anyways, that you can sometimes play that long ball game, that physical game, and you can win games that way. But I think to win championships, you really have to be a possession team that knows how to work the ball around the field, and then obviously get it into dangerous areas when you do get it there and be a little creative in that final third. So that's what we're hoping to do. I think it puts on a good show, and if we're lucky and put the girls out, they better do a bicycle this year at some point. Give us a good effort. We got one last year and hoping to do that again this year.
Excited to start the season. I think realistically one of our goals for the season is to be in the top top 4 of the conference if possible. Would love to be able to host a home playoff game first round, and then once you get into the tournament, who knows what can happen. Ultimately the goal would be to win the conference championship and have an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament. But off the field, in the classroom, I'm going to set the goal for the team to have at least a 3.25 cumulative team GPA as well. So, would like to be successful both on the field and in the classroom. We've lost, I think we graduated 8 seniors. So, anytime you lose, that many number of players and that leadership and experience, I think that's just a big loss in general. I think the key losses in there, starting goalkeeper Kelsey Wirtz, who is an all-conference caliber goalkeeper, and then Yvonne Latour in the midfield. I think those 2 specifically will be big losses for us this year. Again, I think we've got a good core coming back. I think just down the spine, look at Morgan Dorsett in the back. I think Claire Kostelneck probably play a lot in the midfield, and looking forward to her in her second year. And then I think Jillian Sawyer returning forward. We have a bunch of dynamic players up top, and I think our 3 senior captains, their leadership will be very key for us this year as well. We brought in, I believe, 11 first-year players. So again, kind of graduated a big number of players, but we brought in a big number as well. So I think again, freshmen, I think there's always a little bit of a transitional period for them. But again, it's a class that I feel very strongly about. I think there's a lot of potential. A couple players who will definitely have chances to break into the starting lineup, and a number of other players who will have significant impact throughout the year. Overall, I think it's a pretty competitive schedule. I think all of the Capital Athletic Conference games are always pretty tough. Again, you can never take those games for granted. I think realistically, you've got 6, 7 teams in the conference who all realistically expect to win the conference tournament and go pretty deep. So out of conference, I think we've definitely got a good mix of games. I think the highlights in that schedule are definitely the Hopkins and Montclair State, who are both nationally ranked in the top 10, obviously from last year, and then going into the preseason rankings this year. Expect both of those games to be very tough, but hopefully very competitive, and those are the type of games that we want to be playing to help prepare us for the conference games, the more important games later in the season. I think obviously there's a lot of excitement, having my first opportunity to be a head coach. I've had the privilege and ability to play for some very good coaches. Had the privilege and been able to work for and with some very good coaches, both at the club level and the college level. Really looking forward to taking all of those kind of pieces and being able to put my own kind of style, own kind of twist, with everything, and challenge myself to be successful at this level. With my ideas, my philosophy, my recruiting, and just looking forward to learning from my mistakes and growing as a coach, and hopefully being able to put a good product out there and create a good experience for players both on the field, in the classroom, and within the community. Sure, I think obviously I'm a little bit familiar with the conference. Obviously playing on the men's side and now coaching on the women's side, it's a little bit different. The conference has actually changed a little bit since I played. A couple teams have left, and 3 new teams have come in. The conference has expanded a little bit in size. I think it's gotten a little bit stronger. Definitely looking forward to those challenges. I'm familiar with a few of the coaches and the facilities and those kind of things. So I think obviously that never hurts. But again, my experience can only take me so far. I'm looking forward to the new experiences and the new test ahead. So.
Our goals for this year is to compete at a high level. We're expecting our players to come in fit. At the end of the year, we're expecting to contend. We want to contend for our CAC championship and then see how far we can go in NCAAs. We're fortunate. We only graduated 1 senior, and so we lost a few underclassmen who decided not to come back. But the leadership we're going to lose from Alex Gower, the work ethic, I think she had a lot of respect from her teammates. And as the season went along, you can gain more respect from our coaching staff. The impact she has on and off the field is what we're going to miss most out of Alex. For our key returners, we're looking at our seniors to really lead. We expect between Michelle, Morgan, and Jackie, we expect them to lead on all aspects of playing at this level, fitness-wise, academically, and leading in the locker room. These guys are capable. We talk about their legacy. I think they're very eager to leave a legacy of work ethic, team-first mentality, high expectations, and championships. So for me, I look at our seniors to really get it done for us. We have a strong sophomore and junior class. Our juniors include some of our conference players that did well for us last year in all region. And we have some freshmen that did the same thing. So we have a good mix, a good nucleus of young talent who have a season under them. You know, our freshman class have a big role to fill. I think last year's freshman class set the tone. Every single freshman came in fit last year, so we've kind of set the tone with them as well. We have some key freshmen I think will give us some speed up top, and some wide players will give us some speed on the outside, especially some central players as well that are technically very sound, and we have some size this year. You know, our non-conference schedule is very good. You know, I'm excited by our opening 2 tournaments. We're playing WNL and Bridgewater, and then we go up to Carnegie Mellon and play Otterbein. So 2 very good regional teams. We're excited for them. And then we have the traditional ones, Virginia Wesleyan. You know, Jeff Bowers does a tremendous job there. Then we've got Messiah, Richard Stockton, some teams that historically have done very well. And we're looking to make some history with some of those programs. In conference in the CAC, you know, it's a battle. You know, the top five teams in the conference battle every year. I'm expecting that some of the teams that were at the bottom of the conference last year to be even better. New coaches new to the conference. They understand the recruiting component. I respect everyone, you know, from the #1 team in that conference down to the 9th or 10th team in that conference. We don't look past anyone, so I expect that each game is going to be a battle. You know, I'm going to adopt a philosophy from Coach Nestor, and that to be the best, you got to beat the best. So we look to perform well. This year our theme is pride, passion, and performance. And pride, passion, and performance meaning having pride in our university and what we represent, the colors, the people that back us up back at school, our athletic trainers, our strength coaches, our administration, our faculty. Passionate about what we do. We're passionate about ourselves and our team. We're passionate about the game we play. We get to play a wonderful game, and then performing. And that's a big thing for us. Going out there, ready to perform, under the lights, wherever it might be, on the biggest stage to the smallest stage, looking to perform at our best. Well, it's working for the state. You know, that's a little bit different than working for a private school, but I've done it before. I'm working in Virginia. You know, it's learning the players and not having understanding and getting everyone on the same page. I'm excited about my staff. We have a new staff this year, new eyes on the players. I think it's refreshing for them and refreshing for me. And then having some idea of the teams we're playing in the conference. I'm very familiar with the region, you know, having coached in this region for almost half my career. This is my 20th season coming up, so I'm very excited about the fact that, you know, we have a good nucleus of players returning. We have an understanding about what our expectations are, and the idea of what we can do. You know, I think we can do some damage this year in the conference. I believe that we'll be one of the top 3 or 4 programs in the conference, if not #1 is our goal. And then hopefully the postseason will speak for itself.
Team goals and expectations for us are that we continue the momentum from our first year with the CAC schedule. We really were impressed and happy with the performances in the majority of the games, but we also know that we definitely didn't rise, I think, as well as we would have liked to. So for us, I think it's a continuation heading into this fall where we are fighting for a playoff spot. We really think that we'll have the talent, and we think that with the schedule pre-conference will help prepare us for the conference and also give us the opportunity to be fighting for that playoff spot. We really think that the talent coming back and the talent coming in is going to give us an opportunity to be with the top teams in the conference, and we're ultimately pushing for that playoff spot. I think big picture, again, we're trying to build a program that's going to be a consistent player in the conference, but a consistent player on the regional level. And just, you know, again, we've built this program. We're continuing to have great success on the field, but also great success academically. And so we want to make sure we're having those on-field successes match what we're doing in the classroom and the community. And so we really think that heading into 2014, we really think we have a team that's going to keep that momentum going and build off of what's been done before. Losses, definitely for sure Laura Palmer. She VOSID all-state player, along with a second-team all-conference in the Capitol. Definitely missed some back, our defensive line help with Randy Klein graduating. Megan Blackham is a loss for us. And then just because of the unique nature of the university, we've lost some players to go on church missions. Certainly Alyssa Winter is a loss for us, Morgan Young. But I think, our graduating seniors from last year we'll definitely miss. They were a great class. They helped us do a lot of great things. So we'll miss them, but we're optimistic that the people we brought in are going to be able to replace them and certainly build on what they've accomplished. The team's key returners for us this year is going to be starting in the back with us is Mackenzie Cox. She'll likely be a 3-year starter in goal for us. A great goalkeeper. Certainly I would say probably if we give her the right defensive protection, I think she's probably one of the better goalkeepers in the conference. Heading into our midfield, Cora Jewell had a great freshman season. We expect a lot of good things from her as a sophomore. We're excited about Tatiana Monson. She scored a lot of goals for us as a freshman year, so hopefully she can build on that. Outside on our wings, Alicia Blackham is a junior, and she'll definitely give us that leadership and experience to help us pushing forward. A couple other key returners are Riley Anderson, Alexis Clements. So we're excited for them, and hopefully they'll take what they learned last year and help us build heading into this fall. So the thoughts I have for the schedule are, it's a very competitive schedule. We're really blessed in the area we're at because the ODAC conference and the USA South has some great teams that allow us opportunities for pre-conference games. We'll start off with no easy games, to be sure. Playing a Lynchburg team that's probably going to be ranked in the top 10. They're a very powerful team. We'll get another heavy dose of ODAC play the next day as we play Roanoke College. And so 2 strong ODAC teams. We'll throw in a very good Barton team, D2. They had a great turnaround last year. And so we'll definitely have a good challenge against them. Probably our biggest challenge, our hardest game usually of the season is going to be against Radford, a D1 team that a lot of people are picking to do well in the Big South. So for us, we schedule very strong, specifically with the knowledge that heading into the conference, if we can already have played, some of our hardest games in the pre-conference, that the girls can be very confident, very relaxed, knowing that they can play against the best teams in the conference, and they don't have to be afraid of them. They can challenge them. So I'm really excited for what our pre-conference schedule looks like. The overall schedule for the season, I think, is another strong one that we put together, and I think that it's balanced. Some good teams that are going to challenge us, and some teams that hopefully we'll have some success against. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting up against the Lynchburg and a Radford and a Bridgewater and those teams that have had success, and measure ourselves to see where we're at in comparison to them.
Coming off a tough season last year, I think really for us is really to change the culture of the program and get back to where we believe we should be, and that starts with just training and our players getting back to working really hard, and our staff. So yeah, I mean, expectations are really to get back to playoffs. I mean, I think that's where we want to be. Where we were the year before last. So really, our goals and expectations are really to get right back to the CAC playoffs. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think when you lose 3 seniors and 4-year starters and captains that you had, I think you're always looking to replace those, and that's not an easy thing to deal with it within a program. But we feel real comfortable with our new. We picked 4 captains with Carrie and Morgan, Stevie and Chelsea. So we feel real comfortable with that, and the girls have been real good in the spring, getting prepared. They're just really eager to get going. I mean, I think. You have to throw, Christina Verzi in there as one of our transfer kids in from last year, who will be a senior this year. And of course our captains, I mean, they're an integral part of our program, just working real hard. So when you talk about that, you talk about Stevie Carpenter, and I think Morgan Warrington is just a class player. And of course you got Chelsea in there as well. And, Pegels, who we spoke about before. So I think you got Pegels in there too. So you got a group of 4. And Verzi, I mean, just a solid group, and of course our sophomore class returning in junior class, so we feel real good. Yeah, I mean, I think we got a group of you got to start with Lauren Price, our transfer kid, who's going to come in, D1 transfer, and she'll make an immediate impact for us. We have 5 freshmen who are going to make a great impact for us. So we're really looking to 6 players: Cassie McSorley, Caitlin Ennis, Nasia Denegal is going to be a great goalkeeper for us. So really, we got a group there. Eliza's going to do great. Sabrina's going to do great. So we got a group of 6 new players that are really going to come in and make an immediate impact for our program. Yeah, I mean, at a conference, I mean, when you're talking, we're talking about Swarthmore's, and we have Newman, Immaculata, some good programs, and of course it's all about preparing for that first CAC match. So when we go into that first match, 3 weeks into the season, we'll be ready to go. So the non-conference is important. We open up with Washington College. And we go from there. But we have a solid non-conference schedule this year that we feel real good about, and the ultimate goal is to prepare us for our first CSC game. With the additions of really the last few years, with you obviously got Frostburg and Christopher Newport coming in, and some of those newcomers, and of course you got your staples with Salisbury and York and Mary Wash. Every day is a grind. And we try to train that way, so when we get into our match play, we're ready to go. I mean, Erica has been great. I mean, she's eager, ready to go, young, enthusiastic, which is great. Erica played at Virginia Wesleyan College and down there with Coach Bauer. So, she's ready to go. She has just some great background. Was a great goalkeeper for them, all conference down there in the ODAC. So she's ready to go. She'll do a great job with our keepers, and also just assist me where it's needed. So we're excited about Erica. This is my baby. This is where we, I started this program 20 years ago. I mean, it's crazy, and we've had some great history, some great memories, some great players. And if it wasn't for all of them, I wouldn't be here. So, when I think about it, we always think about the players before and the impact they've made on myself and the program. And, so when I think about my 20 years, I think about all the players that came before us. But we're excited to start the 20th season, absolutely.
Well, I think we have a good base of returning players, and in that base it's a large senior class. They have the experience, they have the confidence because they won the conference championship last year. So our expectation is to win it again and go further than what we did last year in the NCAAs. Mel Glesner, she's all-region goalkeeper, has been an outstanding goalkeeper for us the last 3 years. Then as far as the defense, it would be Chelsea McDowell, Jen Lindsay, and Taylor Falk. A good group of midfielders would be Claire Chatham, Kayla Kowalski, and Beth Bunn. And then we had some injured players last year, Jordan Snook and Jamie Sokolis. They should be healthy, and they'll just really add to that experience that the team has. 2 newcomers that played with us in the spring season was Lakin Bull. She came over from the field hockey team, and very physical young lady. I really, really like her. And then Cheyenne Kimbrough is transfer from Drexel, and she's going to help us tremendously. Well, with me scheduling with Rowan, I think that'll give us a good base of letting us know where we are and what we have to work on. And so I certainly am loving the competitive games that we get out of the CAC, because I think we're a very top-notch conference. To the teams that I think are very competitive is Salisbury and Christopher Newport. If they come in game fit like they're supposed to, then I know we're on the right track. We sent the right message, and they bought into that message.
The 2014 season kicks off on Friday, August 29th, with CAC competition beginning on Saturday, September 27th, and the CAC Championship set for Saturday, November 8th. Thanks for tuning in to the 2014 CAC Women's Soccer Preseason Webcast. Check back to CACsports.com throughout the season for all of your women's soccer news around the conference.